Welcome, 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 Scola. Thanks for coming to be interviewed by me, Naja, on Get It, Got It Good.
Thanks for having me, Naja. I appreciate the love, baby. Absolutely.
So, as you know, this will be aired on the WBGR Health and Wellness channel as well as on Total Entertainment Radio. So, we will definitely be everywhere in the next couple of weeks. So, no worries. Now,
Nice.
I only
Nice.
see the top half. I see, what is that, Balm City?
Bomb City. Shout out to my OG Jay Lee. You know what I mean? He like he's like a stylist for me, so to speak.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
man. We support each other. That's like my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What's up, Jay Lee? Like we said, I hope you can help him, do some technical things for me.
I got him.
Yeah,
Trust me, I
thanks.
got him.
So,
I got him.
Scola Dinero. Who is Scola Dinero anyway?
Oh man, just a man that's trying to make it pretty much. Just a simple guy, man. I ain't gonna say I'm not nothing special because God don't make no junk, but I'm just a regular dude, man, like everybody else, pretty much just trying to get to the next level and pursue their dreams and be a great father and a great husband and all that old good stuff. You know what I mean? Just a God-fearing man, just trying to do the right thing. That's all.
So, for people who don't know, you're what? You're an entertainer, you're a singer, you're from
Uh,
Baltimore, are you?
yeah, born and raised in West Baltimore. Yeah.
West Side.
For those who don't know, my name is Scola Dinero, formerly of the multi-platinum group Dru Hill. I've done some consulting for, some major TV shows and stuff like that as well. So do a little acting and stuff now too. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm a simple dude, Naja. You know me.
Yeah. Laid back.
Yeah.
It's crazy because a lot of times people wouldn't even know you're around unless somebody pointed you out because you're laid back, quiet, undercover.
Well, yeah. Well, except for on stage, like after I leave, the stage, I do what I do. I'm a people's person, so I like to talk to the fans, kiss the babies and that kind of thing. But after that, I like to go chill out with the family, man, and put my pajamas on, eat some good food, and just relax. Yeah.
I feel you. And I see you working right now, huh? You in the studio?
Yeah. Putting a little work, pretty much, but for the most part, my music director, Gary Groove. Shout out to my man Gary Groove and my band, them Be More Cats. They, let me use the studio to do this interview today, pretty much. Yeah. We
Absolutely. So
always
what
working though. Even now.
go ahead, what you say?
I'm sorry. What'd you say? No, I said we
I
always working, man.
I
You know
feel
how
you
that
on
go.
that. So you're making
Yeah,
good
you know
use
how
of
that.
this time right now.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Just tapping into my creative side, because when before this Corona thing, we was all over the place doing this and doing that, but God has a way of setting us still sometime. You know what I mean? But this Corona thing is bad, but I think it's good in a way. Like for instance, to all them dirty folks out there who wasn't cleansing and using sanitizer and all of that. Look at it that way. You know what I mean? People picking up good habits thanks to the coronavirus. So I will say it is a positive in there.
No,
I'm just
terrible,
keeping it
but
100. I'm
wash
just
your
keeping it 100.
hands.
Yeah, man, it's making, it's cleaning people up. That's one good thing about the coronavirus, I'll say. You know what I mean? Making people
Some
feel
people
clean.
just did not learn it when they were growing up, I guess.
Some just didn't. I don't understand. We got our ass whipped if we ain't take a shower. We ain't do what we supposed to do. Straight up.
Right?
Like it was, yeah, you better.
That's
You
for
go ahead.
real.
That's real shit. Oh, can I
So,
talk?
what are you working on? A
Um,
new album or what?
well, right now I got some music. A nice I got a nice vault full of music, man, that I'm trying to put the right project together. I had some things in the works that I can't speak on now because it's not solidified, but because of the coronavirus, it kind of like shut everything down. So once everything pick up, I can get back with you and let you know, music wise, what I'm doing and what company is going to be through and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? But I am working with. I can say this. good friend of mine by the name of John Kilgore, JFK Entertainment, man. Big shout out to my man, John Kilgore. John Kilgore is a guy who, I don't know if you remember the rapper. You remember G Dep, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he used to manage G Dep. He did a lot of consulting with Puffy, and he's worked with like guys like Mike Cotton. For those who don't know, Mike Cotton is the guy who did all of Michael Jackson's like stage productions, Celine Dion, some of the biggest acts you can name, is done by a guy named Mike Cotton. So I'm helping John, man. Right now we're putting some things together for a play that's going to hit Broadway, Swing Savoy. You know, I can't speak too much on it, but right now that's something that it's going to be huge. It's going to be real huge. But once again, the coronavirus kind of slowed everything down.
It slows everything down. I can definitely relate with that.
Yeah.
But it's like you said, it's a good thing. Now, for people who don't know, and a lot of times people go, okay, I'm from the DMV. How do I go from point A to point B? It's impossible. You got to move. You got to do this. You don't have the right connections in this area. So how did you, growing up in West Baltimore, thank goodness you're from West Baltimore. Most of the people are from like East Baltimore. I'm like, where's all my West Baltimore people at?
Yeah. Hey,
but how did you go from being a Baltimore child to actually getting a name for yourself and blowing up?
Well, to be honest, earlier in my career, just like everybody else, I thought you could put a demo together, you know, knock on the record company's doors and have a meeting and hopefully get a deal, which I tried that approach, but after studying, I got a chance to meet Mick Murphy back in the day from the system. I was real young, but he always gave me advice, and then on how to break into the industry. But what really did it was my partner Tony Rome, Antonio Herrera, who helped Russell Simmons build Def Jam and Leo Cohen and those guys. Between Tony and Mick Murphy, they gave me advice, and they used to tell me, like, sometimes, like grandma used to say, there's more ways to skin a cat, or so to speak. And the approach that they helped me with was, they taught me about distribution at the time. There was no internet, right? So they taught me how to, record, get your own music and stuff together. They taught me about distribution and marketing and promotion. So me being a student, and I love knowledge, I took that to heart, man. And I hooked up with a guy by the name of Antonio Murchison and my man Jerome Brooks, known as Ro Brooks now. And we we opened a record store called Rome Records, but we made it a label as well. So we decided, man, we said, hell, instead of going to beg for a deal, let's bring the record company in the attention to us. So I recorded this song called Let's Get Personal, man, and we felt really good about it. We went to the radio station. Shout out to Camille Cashwell, wherever she is now. I pray she's in good health wherever she is. Camille Cashwell at 92Q helped us tremendously. She helped us get the song in rotation. And once it hit the airwaves, man, Let's Get Personal, boom. It's like Scola at the time. Scola was born. It took off. It went like #1 within our region. We was beating all of the major record companies. Couldn't understand why we was getting so many spins. And our record was beating their record tremendously. And just like Mick Murphy said, and just like Tony Rome said, man, here come the record companies. We started getting meetings because of the noise that Let's Get Personal made, and it became a DMV classic to this day. So I want to, shout out to everybody that supported that Let's Get Personal, man. I appreciate y'all. Matter of fact, the movie ATL, it's in the movie ATL. And ATL was on last night, so I got a chance to, every time it come on, I got to sit down and at least, check out the scene where they playing my song. You know what I mean? Because that means something to a kid from West Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Indeed, it's like forever solidified in history in the movie.
Absolutely.
So how does that work, though? Do they call you and ask for the rights to play it during the movie? Like, how does that work?
Well, sometimes, yeah, sometimes some people take publishing deals. Some people have administrative deals as far as music. But fortunately for me, Chris Robinson, shout out to my man Chris Robinson. For all of y'all that don't know, Chris Robinson is responsible for the movie ATL. He directed and wrote ATL. He's done the New Edition story, Bobby Brown story. He's done so much work for Jay-Z and Beyonce. Like, this is a guy that's from Harford County, Maryland, you know, Baltimore, you know, the DMV area.
The DMV area, yep.
And he's family. And, you know, fortunately for me, there was a scene in the movie where he thought Let's Get Personal would fit perfect. And he showed that love, man. He hooked me up with the Warner Brothers, and we did a deal for the song, and there it is. So shout out to my man, Chris Robinson, man, and the whole Robot Film staff. You know, and it pays, man, to have a good attitude towards certain things too. You know, that, you know, when you got a likable spirit, man, that helps tremendously too. You know?
Most definitely. And people don't understand that it's the energy that you give off that you either attract or repel others. So it definitely helps. And of course, you're not going to get along with everyone, but it definitely helps. So, okay. So you have this record, they start calling you and want to sit down with you. Then what happened next?
From there, I remember taking meetings with different labels, right? And I don't know, we couldn't, we couldn't come to a term. One label wanted to sign me, but Tyrese beat me out for this particular deal at the time. And back then, Tyrese had a lot more momentum because he had the Coca-Cola commercial.
That Coca-Cola commercial that set it off. Yeah.
Right, that set it off, and it was a good business move for the, you know, for the label at the time. So it was me or Tyrese, and at the time, I thought it was a good move because, I mean, business-wise, of course, I would have loved if they'd sign me, but I understood why they would sign Tyrese. He's not, you know, he's a great talent, you know, so I understood.
And right then he had that face and that presence that a lot of people knew who he was already.
Yeah, he had a great momentum, man. Everybody loved him. And what I liked, what I understood was Tyrese kind of, a lot of people don't, back then didn't understand marketing. So I learned marketing early. Tyrese kind of crossed over too. You know, it wasn't just the urban culture that accepted Tyrese. Just about every culture accepted the dude, man. And shout out to Tyrese, man. You see where he at now, right? So big shout out to Tyrese, man.
It definitely worked out for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, and that would have been a solo deal for you, correct?
Yeah, that would have been a solo deal for me. I was in a group before Let's Get Personal. I was with a group by the name of Perfect Combination at the time. Shout out to my man, James Pierce, man. We know him as Jamie O. Because of Jamie O, I'm really singing for real. Because I was, before I was singing, I was actually a dancer, like popping and breaking. And me and my cousin Johnny Jackson, we had a group, man. We used to, you know, pop and break and go smoke them dudes out there. We used to kill them. You know what I mean? And Jamie O actually seen us rehearsing one day, and he asked me if I could sing. And I was kind of shy to sing, but I finally worked up the nerve and auditioned for the group, made it in the group, and boom, the rest is history.
Absolutely. So then you went from one group to being solo. How did you then go from being solo to being in another group?
Well, let me say this. I guess the noise that I made with Let's Get Personal kind of solidified me as not just an artist, but as a young businessman at the time too. And then, you know, I started doing shows with all of the major artists, from Keith Sweat to Casey and JoJo, some of the, you know, Boys II Men. I opened up for a lot of major artists. And I guess throughout the years, you know, me just doing what I do, you know, Dru Hill was in the works at the time. Their name was called, I believe, Legacy at the time. And they would come to our office and we would chop it up or whatever the case may be. And then Dru Hill just blew up and took off. But we kind of still kept ties. So when Woody went solo to do his gospel project, I produced 2 singles for him. And one of them was a song called My Homie, which they featured Dru Hill on. And then I did another song called No Matter What You're Going Through, featuring Case and Mary Mary. So, you know, me touring with Woody exposed me to the Kirk Franklins of the world, the Clark sisters and stuff like that. So I started making a little name for myself. And then Def Jam decided they wanted to do a Dru Hill project. But at that time, it was only 3 of them. It was just Nokio, Cisco, and Jazz. And the label wanted at least 4 guys from my understanding. So, you know, Cisco and the guys, they asked me if I would join Dru Hill, and, you know, I actually turned them down like 3 times before, you know, before it actually happened. And I'm glad that I've made that move, you know. Yeah, so I ended up in Dru Hill pretty much. They came and asked me if I would like to, you know, do the Dru World Order album with them. And boom, here I
And
am,
there you
man.
go.
Yeah, making Dru Hill history. Absolutely.
So there's a lot with that because there is the marketing aspect, the business aspect,
Right.
and then you did something for Woody, which is what, the production, the songwriting, the what aspect,
Yeah.
and then so there's a lot. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, it's a lot, man. I just tell anybody, you got to be relentless in what it is that you want to do. It's if you're gonna do it, you gotta. If you're not passionate about it, you're just gonna be. To me, I feel like you're just gonna be wasting your time. But if you're gonna do something, man, you got to be relentless. You're gonna hear a lot of bunch of no's. Some people won't even believe in your vision at the time. You know what I mean? So you got to do what you got to do and be persistent and relentless with this thing, man, and go pursue your dream and go get it. I guarantee you, you'll get it. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And you don't know exactly how it's going to come about, but the fact that you keep moving, it opens up new doors and new connections that then come full circle and then put you
Absolutely.
in places that allows you to move forward, right?
That's true, Naja. I've seen people pursue one thing and God opened other doors for them and they ended up finding another passion which led them into, you know, I mean, getting like filthy rich. You know, it might have been music that they was on. Now they end up being having their own label situation, or you know, learning some techie stuff that's being used now that people couldn't
Yeah.
understand back then. Like I had a friend of mine who was into apps. I didn't know anything about apps. He was ahead of the game, and you know what I'm talking about. I can't say his name, but yeah, man, he's doing really well with that now. So I wish I would have learned back then what that thing was all about. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, you just got to be relentless and persistent on what it is that you want to do. You got to be truthful. You got to be real with yourself. You know?
Indeed, and keep up the hustle. And a lot of people don't understand the work that's involved.
Oh
It's
my
not
God.
a 9 to 5, it's an all day. You eat, sleep, and breathe it,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. You eat, sleep, drink it, man. Like, I mean, to this day, you know, I feel like I still haven't even scratched the surface when it comes to showing the world what I could do, but they will soon. They will real soon. Like I'm a visionary. You know, it's so many things that God blessed me with that I can't wait to share with the world. You know, so many things.
I think that's just how creatives are. Like we always have the next idea that we want to do, and sometimes we got to pull back and wait to the right time. So
Right.
okay, let's go back to it because we talked about the marketing
Hmm.
and learning that aspect, right? You definitely got to know the business end, and distribution is one of those things. And the person with the best and the most distribution outlets wins, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
So okay, and
Yep.
you had a mentor to help teach you this.
Yes. Yes. Tony Vaughn,
So
man. Yep.
what advice would you give on somebody learning that aspect? Because I tell people all of the time, the money is behind the scenes. You could be an artist and make great money, but the people behind the scenes who know the business aspect usually makes out better.
Absolutely. I would the advice I would give anybody right now that's doing music. I mean, with the internet now and with all these online distributors, you have marketing and promotion companies that could. It's just easier to me, you know, like all the little dope boys or whatever that's getting money. There's rappers now that I consult a lot of the little hustlers and stuff too. I'm gonna keep it 100 that didn't know where to put their money, as opposed to just spending it on bling and throwing it away at the strip club. I would tell them, man, you could take that same 5 or 10,000 and flip that to 50 to 100 if you let me show you, you know. And I've helped them, a lot of them.
It's funny because I'm licensed in the financial field. So a lot of the times what I'll do with the artists and the entertainers and the sports people that I come in contact with, a lot of times they say if they just had somebody to teach them the
Yep.
financial gain, they could have kept more of their money or made it grow even bigger. So if they got hurt or got let go from a team, they would have had it.
They would
So it's
have
funny
it.
that you say that because I preach financial literacy all of the time.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, right?
Now, as a matter of fact, Naja, that's something that, on another note, you and I got to connect on your expertise on the financial aspect of things, and I really believe that that's something that needs to be done. I wish that was something that we can put in the schools, to be honest with you, regarding finances. You know what I'm saying? That's something
So
that I wish that
it's funny
we could do.
because ESTA, the Entrepreneurship School for the Artists,
Hmm.
got created because entertainers, or you're good at what you're good at. So you're good at dance, you're good at singing, you're good at acting, but that doesn't mean you necessarily know the business side of it.
Exactly.
And because so many of my friends are entertainers and they wind up broke or getting screwed over because they don't know how to negotiate, network, do the contracts, they don't know the accounting and things like that.
Right.
We thought it'd be a good idea to come together and build a school, so that way it can teach the artists not only their craft, but also the back end of it.
Absolutely. It's a
So
necessity,
definitely.
man. Yeah, we definitely, need to do that. So,
So let me ask you, you did the album, right, with Dru Hill.
Yep, Dru World Order.
And then what happened? What was next?
After the Dru World Order situation, we went on tour, and we was out there crushing on tour. But after that, we were supposed to have, I forgot the name of the album. Nokia was naming it. I forgot the name of the album. But anyway, after that, I was released from Dru Hill, but it's crazy how it all went down. I didn't even know I was released from Dru Hill until I got a call from the radio station. But after the Dru World Order album, no, let me backtrack. L.A. Reid came to Def Jam. That's what happened. L.A. Reid came to Def Jam. We had a meeting with him. He was excited. He was ready to pull out all the bells and whistles, man, for the next Dru Hill project. All we had to do was just do our part, which is record, sing, make great songs. But unfortunately, things just went kind of haywire. You know, Jazz wanted off of Def Jam for whatever reason. I think Cisco had a different manager at the time. I think he was looking to do another situation or something like that. But long story short, it didn't work out. So we got released from Def Jam. You know, Beyonce's dad actually took interest in Dru Hill at one point too. And we had a meeting with him, but Cisco didn't show up, man, for the meeting or whatever the case may be. It's, it is what it is. That was a situation that didn't work out. So after that, we was just, hanging in the wind. And then I got the call from the radio station. Dru Hill was at the radio station, and I wasn't there, and I didn't know I was put out the group until after that drama that you saw on 92Q when he had to fight and stuff like that.
Yes,
so
that was
that,
insane. Live and aired out for everybody local.
Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, we went through our little rough patch. That was a situation where, for whatever reason, they got the ratings they was looking for. I don't know how it worked out for them as far as the ratings, but after that, I did do some shows with them. We got past all of that, but I still ended up doing some shows and performances with them after that. A little while after that, I'll say that. Okay, I know I froze again, right?
Sorry about that. My system went down for a second. Go ahead, say it.
Okay.
There we go.
Where was I? What was I saying? Oh. Should I backtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I was speaking about after the Dru World Order, what happened as far as what happened. After the Dru World Order, I was pretty much released from Dru Hill. But like I said, I didn't know until I got a call from the radio station.
So let me ask you a question. I know, okay, so that would have pissed me off, straight point blank. Even if I felt as though, okay, I knew it was coming, or there's issues or situations, just the fact of how I found out would have made me upset because of the respect level.
Well, yeah. Actually, that was my whole thing with the fellas. Like, if it was a situation, it could have just been a simple phone call or something. You know what I mean? And let me know that they didn't no longer need my services or whatever the case may be. That would have been cool. And a lot of people ask me, well, why they let you go? That's a question that I can't answer. You would really have to ask the guys that question. I don't know.
So I did reach out to Nokia. I didn't hear back from him. He may have commented back, but I haven't checked today. So,
Oh, okay.
because I was curious and we were talking, so I said I'll reach out just to see if he'll respond to it. But
Right.
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I guess I don't know, for whatever reason they let me go. Maybe it'll come out in the future. I don't know. But nevertheless, at this point right now, everybody's cool with everybody right now. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's. I guess it was a growing pain or something. I don't know, but from Cisco, Nokia, Woody, Jazz, even Black and Smoke, the two members of the group Play, I knew them from back on the Jodeci days or whatever. So I got love for all those dudes, man, at the end of the day. So like I tell all of them, I'm here if you need me.
So this is a wild industry, and depending on who you know and what you know, you can either make it big or get really played, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Um, you know what I say on that though, Naja? Once again, it goes back to you being truthful to who you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't have certain morals and principles intact, and this is not just for the entertainment business, but this is a life principle situation that I'm saying. You have to have your morals and principles intact, man. And I'll tell any of the young artists, man, like, you know, if it's against your morals and principles, I don't care how much money they put on the table. Don't go against your morals and principles. It's just that simple. And you got a lot of people out here doing a lot of strange things, man, for a deal or for a bag of money or for $1 million. You know what I mean? And it's just some things in life, man. I don't care if it's $1 billion. I
Yeah,
just
right.
just not gonna do. It's just that simple. So I would advise anybody out there, man, that's inspiring to do anything, to hold on to your morals and principles. I know it can get tough. I know we all need money to survive, but at the end of the day, man, God will provide a way for you. You just gotta know. You gotta have your priorities straight.
So as far as now, independence and being an independent artist, what is the differences between being an independent artist and an assigned big label artist?
More money, and I could like to give you an example. When you sign with a label, a label spend a certain amount of money on breaking the artist. Whether artist and development don't really exist anymore, but when it comes to marketing and promotion and put money behind your single to get played at radio, you got to pay that money back.
Mm-hmm.
So nowadays, like back then, when I was offered a certain deal, I wouldn't take it because the money didn't add up. You figure if you sold, let's say, I don't know, it may cost you nowadays, it may cost you what, $500 to go in and do a single or two, right? You take that same single and put it on iTunes and just work it within your region. You can make that 500 back quadruple times over if you do it right, you know? So I just think that independent, if you want the fame, and it work out for some artists. Depending on how you structure your deal with the company, it works out for some artists, but most artists it don't. Most of the time, believe me, the label is going to have it in their favor.
Of
So
course.
you know how that go. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but independent, it could be good if you know what you're doing. It could be real
Yeah,
good.
which goes back to knowing the business and knowing the marketing and knowing the promotion,
Absolutely.
because you can make that money back if you get in front of enough people. And I always liken it to people don't understand that if they're spending $100,000 on a video, that is their money that they just haven't seen yet, and the label is always going to recoup it first, and they're
Better
going to be
bet.
like, "Hey, budget whatever you want."
You better bet it. You better bet it. So just know, to all the artists that's out there looking to get signed to these record companies and stuff, man, just have a solid lawyer. And then even with some of the lawyers, man, a lot of times people don't know this. The lawyers be in the same bag with the record company too. So you really gotta know what you're doing out there, man. You know what? I gotta say, send a shout out to LL Cool J too, man. LL Cool J was another brother who schooled me to the game. I was actually signed to LL Cool J before I got with Dru Hill. A lot of people don't know that. I was signed to Rock the Bells for like a year or so, and things just for whatever reason things didn't work out. It wasn't nothing between me and L. It was something that I think it had to do with his distribution situation. And I gotta honestly say, man, LL gave me a great deal. I didn't have to give up not 1% of my publishing. Everything that I was writing, he told me I could keep 100% of that, you know. And I think that's because maybe from his experience in the past, being the superstar that he is, man. So big shout out to LL Cool J for showing me that love, man. Like I really appreciate that, brother, man. Real talk. Real
I think
talk.
a lot of times if you're an artist first, and then you grow to a certain level, then you can understand it from an artist perspective. And because LL is an artist first, he grew up in the game, and of
Yeah.
course he used that platform to then flip it around and find where he can stay established with longevity through the acting and things. But he still already knew his roots, which was the music.
Which was the music, absolutely. And you got to think, man, LL started in the game with all the heavyweights. I mean, from day one. And how ironic is it? Tony Rome was LL's. He was in LL's like life, like early. You know, as his manager, road manager, you know, all of that, man. So shout out to Tony Rome once again, man. I learned from the best, I must say. You know, I really feel like God had a bigger plan for me than just being an artist signed to a label because I learned so much at an early age. You know what I mean? And I really want to stress this again to all the young and up and coming artists to know the business. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to turn down a deal because you feel like, okay, you might not have another chance, but you will. And with the internet and the way things is now, it's a whole nother ball game now. You know, you got a lot of independent artists out there that's really, really that know the game and that's getting it. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
I actually had a chance to interview some independent artists who refused to sign because they have the creative control being an independent. They have the money coming in being an independent where they don't have to give it up to others
Right.
except for the normal stuff. Now, what do you say about the artists who because I was talking to Billy Live, right?
Okay. Shout out to Billy
And
Bob.
yeah, shout out Billy. So he was saying, and I agree with them wholeheartedly about being able to do shows initially for free and build up your following and things like that. But there are so many people who feel entitled and want to get, from the get-go, they don't want to do the holes in the walls. They want to get paid. They want to do this. They don't want to pay for certain things that they think they should be able to do. What would you say about investing in yourself first
Well,
and doing stuff for free?
I would definitely, especially a new artist that no one knows, you have to understand that you may have to pay your way. It's like, don't look at it like you're spending money or wasting money. Actually, you're investing back into you, back into your brand. And that's another thing, a lot of times artists don't realize that they are considered really a walking business. So you got to carry it that way. So if you have a platform where someone wants you to pay to open for, let's say it could be I don't know, it could be a Yo Gotti or Gucci or somebody like that. That slot may be worth whatever you want the promoter is asking for to expose you to 20,000 people in one night. You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to invest back into yourself. Remember, you're a person who's trying to make a name for yourself. So you want to rub elbows and, with the right people, man, and invest that money in the right way. Absolutely.
Exactly. It's marketing.
It's
It's
marketing.
definitely marketing. It's like, okay, would you rather miss out on the opportunity or would you rather pay for that slot, get in front of 20,000 people and be backstage with other people that you can then network with, build relationships with, and use that to your advantage later?
Exactly. Same. I
Right?
mean, well, that's pretty much what we did back in the day. Myself, Antonio Murchison, and Ro Brooks. We got opportunities to actually open for some major artists, and doing that, rubbing elbows, just built certain relationships with people that got us in front of certain people, and you know, here we are today. So you
Yeah, and
gotta
it's
invest back. Don't be so big headed and think that I ain't paying nobody no 1,500 or 1,000. But some people take that same $1,000 and throw it away at the strip club. It don't make sense to me. Or throw it away in the dice game or something. You know?
Yeah. And you say you do a lot of mentoring now to the younger cats?
Yeah, man. I do what I can, you know. I do what I can. I wish I could do more, to be honest with you. You know, I do what I can.
So let me ask you a question, Scola. How do people follow you, find out what you're up to, and support you?
Well, I'm on Facebook under Scola Dinero Senior. You can get me on Instagram under Scola Dinero. You can get me on Twitter under Scola Dinero. Now I haven't been using those platforms like I should, right? But I'm back on it though. So forgive me, y'all. I have an assistant, by the way, by the name of Wendy Potler, who runs Team Scola. She, if you can't reach me, you can definitely holler at Wendy for me. Wendy Potler, Team Scola on Instagram, Team Scola on Facebook, and Team Scola on Twitter as well. So she got me on that aspect of things. So if you need to get at me and I don't get right back at you, because a lot of times I try to reply back to, you know, all of my friends and followers and stuff, but Wendy will make sure I get your message. So anybody that's trying to get at me, make sure you hit us up, man, on Instagram and Facebook. And Twitter.
Absolutely. And Twitter, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's a lot to keep up with the different platforms. So definitely, you know, you guys, when you go into business, when you go into entertainment, when you go into anything, you wear multiple hats. And then as you grow, you expand, you're able to get assistance and marketing and stuff like that. But you definitely got to learn the game first, so that way you can, you know, check over people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't be, see, a lot of times, man, you got people who got pride too. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Like if you see somebody like yourself who's educated with the business, you know what I mean? Like I was always one who was inquiring all the time. If I needed to know something, I wasn't ashamed to ask, you know, how does this work? Or how does that work? Or what do you do in a situation like that? Or this, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll tell all the artists out there, man, don't be afraid to ask questions. You know, feel free to hit
Exactly,
me up.
especially if it's going to help you get further.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But you know, some of us are hard headed though, man. You know how they go. You
Yeah,
got
you
some
got to learn the hard way.
Yeah, some of them learn the hard way. But for the most part, man, you know, anybody that's looking to learn anything from the business, hit us up. Hit me up. I'll do what I can.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, Scola, I appreciate the time. As always, we'll reconnect on various levels,
For sure.
especially through break, because we know a lot of the same people anyway.
Oh yeah, we got to shout out Gloria, man. Gloria, what's up,
Hi,
babe?
Gloria. That's my lady.
Yep.
Nothing
Shout out
but love
to
for you,
Tyler.
Gloria.
Nothing but love, Gloria Tyler, and her talented artist, man, Demetria, man. Shout out to Demetria also.
She has a few talents under her belt.
Yeah, she got something special brewing. Absolutely.
GT Management, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to GT Management, y'all.
Anybody else we forget to shout out? Let's see. We shouted out a lot of people today.
Yeah, we did. We shout out. We gave Dru Hill a shout out, right? Nokia, Cisco, Woody, Jazz, Black, my man, Smoke, OG J Lee. Appreciate the Bomb City, baby. Check it out. So anybody that's looking for the Bomb City, man, make sure y'all go to Bomb City ENT on IG and get that apparel. Absolutely. Shout out to my music director, Gary Groove. Shout out to my band, them Be More Cats.
Bringing and so messes up stuff, and then I'm on multiple, so don't want me.
Oh, okay.
What were you saying?
No, I was just sending a shout out to my music director, Gary Groove. Shout out to my band, them Be More Cats. Shout out to my boys, Tilo and RL and Squeak 2, man, the group Next, man. Real good brothers right there. Shout out to them. Casey and JoJo, the whole Jodeci fam, man, for showing me what they showed me. Daryl Pearson, Nutty P, Dwayne Satterfield, you know, James Pierce, the whole clique, perfect combination, you know, salute. You know.
And the cuz and Jerry in there. Thanks for for hooking us up with the Wi-Fi.
Absolutely, yeah. Shout out to BV1103 for the tech support. My cousin Johnny Jackson, man, we appreciate that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, I want to shout out my sponsors really quick.
Sure.
Dance Solutions Youth Outreach. Mission Dance Works, One Man Sharpens Another, Nail Fetish in Baltimore, Esther, Favorite One, of course, WBGR, and Total Entertainment Radio. You guys, if you are an artist and you want your music played on the radio, definitely hit me up at getitgottagood3 @gmail, on IG, Facebook, Twitter, all of the platforms. And we'll make that happen for you guys. So we're talking about marketing and distribution and everything. So you guys, you just got to take the first step, keep it moving, and good things happen for you. Any last words?
I just want to say, man, all praise due to God for this opportunity. I like to put God in everything that I do, Naja. I appreciate God. I appreciate you, and I thank God for allowing me to meet you. So until the next one, man, we signing off. You know, I'm here for you. Need me. I got you.
Indeed. All right. I will talk to you later. Thank everyone for listening. Tune in for the next shows. We got a lot of great ones coming up, you guys.
Absolutely.
All right. Later, Scola.
Later, baby.